Coming up on your Fox 21 Morning News, a father of two is dead following a tragic fire Monday morning. What Southern Colorado is doing to help.
Also, a former vice president is about to put his name behind a GOP presidential hopeful.
And the post office facing backlash over proposed cuts, but will it push customers away?
Fox 21 Morning News. Your all live, all local morning newscast starts now.
Well, good morning. Welcome back to your Fox 21 Morning News on this very frigid Tuesday, December 6th. I'm Kimberly Price.
Yeah, and I'm Matthew Kruger. A little sluggish this morning.
Yeah.
Because of the cold temperatures out there. As promised, temperatures about 15 degrees colder than they were this time yesterday. Yeah. Well below zero across pretty much all of the viewing area right now. It is not pleasant out there after yesterday's, and what in some cases was a snowstorm, picking up a foot of snow in Rye yesterday. Rye is south of Pueblo near Colorado City. Beulah picking up about 8 inches. Walsenburg pretty close to that as well. Colorado Springs, depending on what side of town you are, we did see a couple inches of snow here and there. Pueblo picking up negligible snowfall accumulations, but the big story with this system, once again, not necessarily the snow, at least across Colorado Springs and Pueblo, but it is the cold temperatures. We've got clearing skies out. Also some reduced visibilities due to some patchy fog, especially in and around Pueblo and some of the lower elevations. Right now we're warming up. I say that tongue-in-cheek because, yeah, it's still -3 in Colorado Springs, 4 below in Pueblo, 6 below in Trinidad. Factor in the winds, and there is a little bit of wind out there. Feels like 23 degrees below zero in Trinidad, 26 below in Lamar. It only takes minutes for frostbite to set in with these conditions. It is very cold, dangerously cold out there. And just looking up First Bank Fox Skycam, you see the smoke rising. It is looking pretty chilly out there. It's going to take a while for those cars to start up and warm up. As we head throughout the day today, though, we will see a good deal of sunshine. A warmer air mass is going to try to move in, but the cold air mass in place is going to take a little bit to erode away. What all that means is some of the higher elevations actually will have a little bit more luck in seeing some warmer temperatures this afternoon. Some lower elevations along the plains probably staying a few degrees warmer than the I-25 corridor, especially around Colorado Springs. Monument Hill actually could see some of the warmest temperatures in the state today. How unusual is that? As we head into the evening and overnight hours, light southwest winds will help keep temperatures not as cold is what we have out there right now. Wind chill advisory still in effect through this morning until about 9 o'clock. Once again, frostbite takes minutes to set in. Wind chill warnings for some of the eastern plains as well around Kit Carson County. As we head throughout the day today, I'm keeping temperatures in the single digits by 9 o'clock. And then from there, especially Colorado Springs, Pikes Peak region should experience a quicker warm up. Pueblo a little bit slower to warm up. By this afternoon, we should see temperatures in the 20s. Still very cold for this time of the year, but with sunshine and generally light winds, much better than what we saw yesterday, but once again, dangerously cold out there this morning. That's how the skies look. Let's take a look at traffic right now. And no problems to report on the area roadways. I-25 looking pretty good. However, there are still some icy spots. Next weather and traffic update will be at 6:12.
An update this morning on Monday's deadly fire at a mobile home park in Fountain. Fire investigators say a 45-year-old father of two died after an electrical outlet overloaded with Christmas lights sparked the fire. The victim, now identified as Joey Nauta, his wife Janie reportedly smelling smoke when she woke up around 2 a.m. Monday. The entire family, including the couple's 2 children, were able to evacuate the home, but Joey went back inside to try and rescue the family dog. That is when firefighters say the roof collapsed, trapping him inside. 3 other mobile homes sustained significant damage, and another family is displaced. Though saddened by the tragedy, neighbors say they are thankful no one else was hurt.
By the way the flames were, I really doubted anybody had made it. So to see Janie and the kids was a big relief.
Pouring of support for the families affected by the fire has been amazing. Since word of the fire got out, officials say donations have been coming in. Fox 21's Rachel Welty has more on how the Southern Colorado community is helping out after this tragic event.
We wrapped Christmas presents and we had sloppy joes for dinner, and it was really amazing. And Joe came home and the family was happy and full of grace.
Shelly Harrison says she left the Nautas home after dinner Sunday night, and then just a few hours later got the horrific news. Her dear friend's husband had been killed in a fire.
These folks have nothing. They have nothing. This mom and her 2 kids, They lost it all, including their pet dog and their cars and obviously her husband.
But that's not the story Shelley and the Fountain community want the Nauta family and their neighbors to remember, but instead the love, support, and generosity of those around them who are determined to help them through.
But this community has done some amazing things very quickly, and I believe the family will have that support, and we really appreciate it. Like I said, they responded quickly.
Sunflower Properties, who manages the mobile home park, has opened up one of their vacant trailers for the Nauta family, which the community has already filled with donations, including clothes, shoes, furniture, beds, dishes, and even a Christmas tree, a testament to the caring nature of Southern Colorado residents.
This is a giving time of the holidays, and people should be volunteering, and we should reach deep into our pockets. Tragedies, however, bring out even more of those contributory efforts, and it was just amazing. My phone has been ringing off the hook.
Well, if you would like to donate to any of the victims, you can log on to our website, coloradoconnection.com, for all the details.
Meanwhile, in Westminster, a massive fire at a Buddhist temple destroys buildings and injures one monk. The fire sparking around 6 a.m. Monday at the Lao Buddhist temple, and authorities say the cause is under investigation, but there's no sign of arson. A monk at the temple is recovering from minor burns and smoke inhalations, but his injuries are not life-threatening.
Authorities releasing new information on that deadly plane crash over the weekend. Authorities say the single-engine plane was flying from Durango to Aspen when it crashed Saturday afternoon about 1.5 miles north of Silverton. 3 of the victims are identified as Alpine Bank employees. Officials say they were on their way to a company Christmas party. The cause of the crash is still unknown, but investigators say the plane's emergency beacon signal was detected about 40 minutes after takeoff. The NTSB continues to investigate.
A Colorado judge lowers the bond for a former Arapahoe County sheriff accused of exchanging methamphetamine for sex. 68-year-old Patrick Sullivan appearing in court Monday, where a judge lowered his bond from $500,000 to $50,000, citing Sullivan's clean record. The former sheriff is charged with felony distribution, possession of meth, and soliciting prostitution. Authorities say he offered meth to a man in exchange for sex in a sting setup last week. A judge will decide whether there's enough evidence for a trial at a hearing in January. And in Denver, a federal judge is deciding to grant Occupy protesters a restraining order against Denver police. Lawyers for the protesters arguing in a hearing Monday that police are selectively writing tickets for minor offenses and dismantling their tents in an effort to suppress the protests. Meanwhile, lawyers for the city say police haven't changed the way they're enforcing the ordinances, and the First Amendment doesn't allow for protesters to express themselves in any place, anytime they choose. The judge is expected to decide today on whether to grant that restraining order.
Well, the state Supreme Court siding with Democrats in a fight over congressional redistricting. The court issuing the final word in the battle Monday, upholding a decision in favor of moving Republican-leading portions of Douglas County into the Eastern Plains seat. Republicans argue the Democratic map makes unreasonable changes to make more races competitive. Democrats say the decision sends a message that members of Congress can be held accountable with competitive districts.
The blame game is already starting over talk of making snail mail even more sluggish. The plan to get rid of next-day first-class mail has the post service facing backlash from customers and Congress. At issue a proposal to tack on an extra day or two of delivery time for regular first-class mail. The post office is on the brink of bankruptcy, and the change is meant to save around $2 billion.
Why would people want to use the post office if they know it's going to be slower than it already is right now?
The change would cost about 28,000 postal workers their jobs. If the plan is approved, it could take effect as early as April. And we want to know what you think about the proposed changes. Will this have a big impact on how you use the post office? Head to our Facebook page and give us your opinion. We'll share some of your answers during the show today.
To politics now. A suspended presidential campaign isn't stopping Herman Cain from headlining a fundraiser in Oklahoma City. Cain speaking at the event Monday, where supporters reportedly paid $250 to attend. During the hour-long fundraiser, Cain explaining why he decided to step back from his run for the White House.
It wasn't that I didn't want to fight, because I'm still going to fight. I'm just going to fight a different way. But it came down to family first.
Cain saying he would now focus on his family and on promoting his economic proposals from outside Washington. He says the allegations against him are false and untrue. Former Vice President Dan Quayle says he is backing Mitt Romney for president. Quayle expected to make the official announcement today at a Romney event in the Phoenix area. The endorsement comes a week after Romney met with former President George H.W. Bush and his wife Barbara in Texas.
Facebook is about to go public and could set records in the process.
Why that move will create thousands of jobs.
Also, how much you eat could depend on the color of your plate. An expert tells us which colors make you eat less. Welcome back. A couple different storm systems now affecting portions of the continental United States. We've got one out to the east of us. We've got some snow around St. Louis and portions of Missouri right now. This is the same cold air mass that affects us right now. It's continuing to move off to the east. High pressure moving down the plain, so keeping things dry. We've got another system in portions of Canada right now moving our way. In the meantime, we're very cold out there. That's a big story this morning. 3 below in Colorado Springs, 4 below in Pueblo, 18 below up in Lyman. Factor in the winds, and there's not a ton of wind out there, but any wind blowing around makes it feel colder. In fact, it feels like 16 below in Pueblo, which is why, and for very good reason, many schools there on delays. 26 below the current wind chill in Lamar. Frostbite takes minutes to set in with temperatures like that. First Bank Fox Skycap, it just looks cold out there. There's some reports of some ice fog in and around the area as well. All right, so what's going on around the rest of the nation? There's that snow throughout portions of Missouri. Very cold air mass stretches all the way down into Texas as a result of high pressure. We're going to see pretty quiet weather today, though. That cold air mass continues to hang out on the plains. It's going to take a while to scour that out. Some of the higher elevations on the plains, like Monument Hill, will warm up a little bit more so. Otherwise, 20s for highs all the way down into Amarillo. That's where that cold air will be locked in place. For the Springs today, I'm optimistically going with a high of about 29 degrees. We'll see plenty of sun and maybe some southwest winds developing off the mountains, helping warm things up. Pueblo, actually, I've got a couple degrees cooler. A very slow warm up today. By tonight, mild temperatures, at least more mild than we have out there right now, with temperatures in the teens for the Springs and Pueblo. So once again, starting off with dangerously cold temperatures out there despite light winds by this afternoon. Some wind out of the southwest, not as cold, still chilly for this time of the year, but much better than what we saw yesterday. That's how the skies look, how the roads look. Traffic right now, no problems to report. However, there are some icy spots and reports of some ice fog in and around the area as well. Next weather and traffic update will be at 6:22.
In this morning's Tech Roundup, Facebook has some 800 million users and is available in 70 languages. And now plans for the company to go public will increase employees' numbers, doubling its workforce next year. The bulk of the hiring will be in New York City, where Facebook is reportedly scouting new office space. Its initial public offering will happen next year, and the IPO will likely break Google's record of the largest ever. Some analysts say it could value the company at more than $100 billion. Wow. Well, Xbox users ready to upgrade? Microsoft is rolling out an update for its Xbox Live network, and it's being called the future of TV. The gaming console already lets users pull up content from Netflix, ESPN, and Hulu, among others, and the new version promises content from 40 new entertainment partners. The console will also include a voice control interface that will let users pull up videos, channels, and games simply by asking for it. That upgrade is set to be released today. Well, want an easy way to help you lose weight? Look at the color of your plate. Some researchers now say the color of your plate can control your appetite. Christy Myers reports.
Can changing the color of your plate keep you from eating more? Some researchers say yes.
So when I look at that pasta, this portion seems significantly larger to me.
Yet the serving sizes were the same. It's an illusion, a trick the eye plays when the food and plate are the same color. A study in the Journal of Consumer Research found that people serve themselves more food if their plate matched the food. We asked dietitian Roberta Anding and Yvonne Donaldson to help us do a test. Yvonne served 2 scoops of spaghetti with red marinara sauce onto a white plate and 2 onto a plate with red and white.
On the first plate, the colored plate, the food gets lost. There's no contrast there, so it blends in.
But the white plate made the same serving of red pasta look bigger because of the contrast.
I consciously made an effort for both plates to be equal. So the fact that this looks different than this one is a clear demonstration of the white plate and what it does.
Pasta with green pesto sauce on a white plate looked larger than on the green floured plate. The theory is the more the contrast, the less you're likely to eat.
It's more psychologically satisfying.
Is there a color that helps you eat less? Anding says yes, it's blue.
So if you're really trying to watch your weight, then maybe what you want to do is look for the bluest plate that you have in your cupboard and use that, because that's the least appealing blend with food.
No blue dishes? Then just make sure your food doesn't always match your plate.
Who knew? Well, more bad economic news for the struggling Eurozone. More than a dozen nations now in danger of having their credit ratings downgraded. And later, NASA says it's found a new planet similar to Earth.
Hey, what's up? I'm hanging out with the Corral right here. Oh, yeah. On the way, some good stuff you've got to hear to get you in the holiday spirit coming up in just a little bit. Stick around.
Hey, welcome back. We're seeing clearing skies out there right now, and that's allowing for temperatures to really drop. Here's the good news, though. Despite how cold it is out there right now, temperatures will actually start to warm up as we head into the rest of the morning hours, and that's because we've got some light southwest winds over the area. The clouds and all the mess from yesterday continues to push off to the east, actually snowing around St. Louis right now. Our next Arctic blast is up to the north, but it looks like this one's going to miss us mostly to the east, and we're going to have to wait till Thursday before we feel any effects of that. 3 below right now is the current temperature in Colorado Springs, 4 below in Pueblo, 9 below in Lamar. We've got some very cold temperatures out there, dangerously cold wind chills all along the lower Arkansas, and that's why we're seeing many delays out there. First Bank Fox Skycam, it just looks cold out there with the smoke rising from the steam. Today we'll see highs in the 20s and 30s along the I-25 corridor. Actually colder along the plains. It's going to take more to scour out that cold air east of I-25 later on today. 29 for Colorado Springs. Overnight lows tonight not near as bad. In the mid-teens, still cold, but definitely not as cold as below zero. For tomorrow, more of those southwesterly winds kick in, sunshine, and finally getting some warmer temperatures above average. Yeah. And then by Wednesday night into Thursday especially, we're going to see that Arctic air up to the north try to move our way. It's a very shallow air mass. I'm not so sure that Colorado Springs will see any effect from it, but right now I've got temperatures down into the 30s for Thursday and Friday. The weekend not looking bad, a far cry from what we saw last weekend with highs in the 40s with sunshine for Pueblo. Some of that Arctic air mass may try to move in by Thursday, so right now I've got highs around freezing, and then we do rebound to the 50s as we head into Saturday, Sunday. Overnight lows stay chilly, but not as cold as we have out there right now. Canyon City, 31 degrees for today, 48 for tomorrow. A little bit cooler as we head into Thursday, depending on if that cold air mass can move up to lower Arkansas. For Woodland Park, 30 degrees for today, actually a little bit warmer than Colorado Springs and Pueblo, believe it or not. Then for tomorrow, near 40 degrees with a warmer weekend coming our way. That's how the skies look. Let's take a look at traffic right now. Things looking pretty good out there in terms of accidents. No accidents to report, but there still are some icy spots. Be careful for that, and reports of some patchy ice fog as well. Next weather and traffic update will be at 6:32.
Standard & Poor's announcing it will review the credit rating status of 15 euro currency union members for a possible downgrade, and that begins our look around the world this morning. Those up for review include AAA-rated nations Germany, France, Austria, and Finland. Cyprus was already under review. Greece's credit rating already reflecting a high rate of default. S&P says its review is prompted by the ongoing economic stresses around the globe. Meanwhile, Italy's new prime minister says Rome is doing its part to help solve the debt crisis. Mario Monti presenting lawmakers with a strict new austerity plan on Monday. The plan includes more than $40 billion in new taxes and spending cuts. Prime Minister Monti saying Italy risks a Greek-style collapse if Parliament does not pass it. Iraqi officials say the man who served as a top diplomat under Saddam Hussein will be executed after U.S. forces pull out of the country. He is one of many Iraqis convicted of crimes against humanity remaining on death row. His lawyer says to carry out the execution after American troops leave will lead to more conflict among Iraqi factions. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange will be allowed to appeal to Britain's Supreme Court against extradition to Sweden. Assange is appealing his extradition on sex allegations. He's been under house arrest for nearly a year now, even though he hasn't been charged with any crime. Assange denies any wrongdoing and calls the charges, quote, politically motivated. Well, no smelly foods or bribing of government officials. Those are just some of the guidelines a city in Quebec is sharing with new immigrants trying to adapt to their community. A new government handbook sets out specific rules like not allowing gender inequality, child abuse, or malodorous cooking. Some critics say the guidelines treat the immigrants like children. The city says it just wants people to know they're happy to have new residents, but they want to make sure everyone gets along. 6:26 now. He is convicted of trying to sell President Obama's Senate seat, and later today, Rod Blagojevich will be back in court to possibly learn his fate. Also, forget the cheesy dialogue and sappy music. One TV drama is being hailed for a little girl's real-life rescue.
And it's time now to take a look at what's making headlines this morning.
Fire investigators say overloaded Christmas lights sparked a deadly fire at a mobile home park in Fountain Monday morning. Authorities say 45-year-old father of two, Joey Nauta, died in that fire when the roof collapsed, trapping him. 3 other mobile homes also sustaining significant damage, and 1 other family is displaced.
A Colorado judge lowers the bond for a former Arapahoe County sheriff accused of exchanging methamphetamine for sex. 68-year-old Patrick Sullivan appearing in court Monday, where a judge lowered his bond from $500,000 to $50,000, citing Sullivan's clean record. The former sheriff is charged with felony distribution, possession of meth, and soliciting prostitution. A judge will decide whether there's enough evidence for a trial at a hearing in January.
A federal judge is deciding whether to grant Occupy protesters a restraining order against Denver police. Lawyers for the protesters say police are selectively writing tickets for minor offenses in an effort to suppress the protest. The city, though, says police haven't changed the way they're enforcing those ordinances.
The plan to get rid of next-day first-class mail has the Postal Service facing backlash from customers and Congress. At issue, a proposal to tack on an extra day or 2 of delivery time for regular first-class mail. The post office is on the brink of bankruptcy, and the change is meant to save around $2 billion. The change would cost about 28,000 postal workers their jobs. Now, if the plan is approved, it could take effect as early as April.
Rod Blagojevich set to be sentenced today. The former Illinois governor was convicted of 17 public corruption charges earlier this year. The charges stem from his attempt to sell the U.S. Senate seat vacated by President Obama. Federal prosecutors are pushing for a 15 to 20-year prison sentence.
Amanda Knox, now free after an Italian court cleared her of murdering her roommate, is working on a book deal. She is reportedly signing a deal with attorney Robert Barnett, who will represent her in potential book deals. Barnett has brokered major book deals for the likes of President Obama, former Presidents Bill Clinton, Bob Woodward, and Sarah Palin. Knox recently returning to the U.S. after winning an appeal of her conviction.
Well, NASA announcing some exciting news, reportedly discovering a new planet in a habitable zone. That means water can exist on this planet, which in turn means life could potentially exist. The newly discovered planet is dubbed Kepler 22b. NASA says the planet is orbiting a star similar to our sun. The space agency says the planet is nearly 2.5 times the size of Earth and about 600 light years away from us.
I wonder if their beaches are as nice. A 10-year-old Wisconsin girl is being praised for saving her mom's life using CPR skills she learned while watching the drama series Grey's Anatomy. The girl and her friends started using techniques seen on the hit show when they found her mom on the ground suffering from an asthma attack. Paramedics say without the young girl's life-saving tactics, her mom would have likely died.
Wow.
Oh, that daughter earning her keep. Outside right now, we are very cold out there right now. Maybe even think about moving to that new planet. Maybe the temperatures are warmer there. Satellite showing mostly clear skies out there right now. We do have a few high clouds and some reports of some patchy ice fog as well. But look at this. These are the current temperatures, not the wind chills. 3 below the current temperature in Colorado Springs, 4 below in Pueblo. Factor in the winds, and there's not a ton of wind, but it feels like 16 below in Pueblo. Very dangerous wind chills out there, and that's going to continue over the next couple of hours before temperatures start to warm up. First Bank Fox Skycam. Yeah, I've got clear skies out there, but yeah, the hills painted in white right now thanks to the recent snowfall. And it wasn't a ton of snow, but we're going to be stuck in the cold today. That's going to be the real effect from this storm that we're going to notice, and we notice it out there right now. Very cold air mass in place for the eastern plains. It's going to take a while for temperatures to warm up. In fact, I think we're going to be trapped in that cold air mass throughout the day today. It's going to be a slow warm up for the areas that do see that warm up. Monument Hill may actually be warmer than Colorado Springs and La Junta later on today. But the good news is sunshine and lighter winds today, so a better day than what we saw yesterday. No snow in the forecast over the next 24 hours, and actually for a while. Wind chill advisories remain in effect for Colorado Springs down through Pueblo until about 9 o'clock this morning, but it's going to stay cold pretty much all day long. I've got temperatures optimistically in the single digits above 0 through 9 o'clock. And then as we head into the afternoon, temperatures into the 20s with lighter winds. Winds will be out of the southwest, and that will, with a little bit of luck, help temperatures warm up a little bit as well. More warm temperatures are in the forecast, though, and I've got those details coming up a little bit later on. For now, that's how the skies look. Let's take a look at traffic. Some icy spots out there. Reports of some ice fog as well. However, no accidents to report. Next weather and traffic update will be in about 10 minutes. And Kimberly, as cold as it is out there, maybe time to think of something a little bit warmer.
Okay.
Warm up the heart. And, just talking about warm temperatures may help us warm up as well. So it's time for trivia. Go to our website, coloradoconnection.com, click on the contest tab. From there, find the Texas T-Bone Trivia tab, and you may win a gift certificate from either location of Texas T-Bone. All right, that question today is about 100 degrees. Very hot. I actually don't like very hot temperatures. Yeah. Alaska has never hit 100 degrees, and there's one other state that has never hit triple digits.
Okay.
Which state is that? Think about that. Go to our website, coloradoconnection.com. Let me know your answer. And you know what? The answer may surprise you.
Yeah, I have a couple ideas, but I'm thinking I'm probably going to be wrong.
Well, we'll see. Got some options coming up for you a little bit later on. 100 degrees. All right, so that's just hot, but a far cry from what we have out there right now. One extreme to the other, right?
All righty. Well, I'll get those choices coming up in just a bit. Well, many animal owners consider their pets like their kids.
And for some, that means getting pictures with Santa Claus.
Come on. Hey, they've got cool hats and they sound good too. On the way, more incredible music from the Children's Chorale you do not want to miss. Stick around.
From their performances around the world to right here at home, the Colorado Springs Children's Chorale never fails to entertain. This morning, Craig Coffey has a preview of their holiday show that will certainly inspire the spirit of the season.
Hey, thanks a lot. Your morning now about to get a whole lot better. With us right now, a very talented group of kids. This is the Colorado Springs Children's Chorale. Who wants to be on TV? Woo! Got that covered. All right. This, by the way, not a child. This is David Skolnick. Go ahead and tell us now about these kids and about this choir.
Well, we have the Spring Singers here who, boy, I got to tell you, they really got it together. They're the first, I think, really great group, and we go up from there. But these guys are ages, I forget, 8?
Who's 8 years old? 8 years old? Yeah? Who's 8 years old? Who's 9 years old? Who's 10 years old? 11? 12? 13? 14? No. 50? Who's 41? Anybody? All right. So this is the first stage in the overall Children's Chorale, right?
Well, no, there's younger groups as well, but this is when they really start making great music.
This is the first premiere group. This is the end.
I'd have to say that, in all honesty. As important as the other groups are in getting to that point, this is where I'm really impressed.
All right. Who wants to sing right now on television? Me! All right, let's enjoy them. Here they are, your Colorado Springs Children's Chorale. Enjoy. Not just the cutest kids you've ever seen before. We're going to have more with these kids, also the big kids too. The Colorado Springs Children's Chorale, more of them coming up in just a little while. Take us home, kids!
I love their voices. Well, the Colorado Springs Children's Chorale holiday performances happen this Saturday in the Lloyd Shaw Auditorium. That's at Cheyenne Mountain High School. Showtimes are 2:30 and 7 p.m. and ticket prices start at just $10 and can be purchased at any Tickets West location, the auditorium box office, or by calling 520-SHOW.
They're really good. That was really nice sounding there. Satellite showing some mostly clear skies over the area right now. It is cold, getting you into the Christmas spirit, I guess. Right now we're seeing our system from yesterday push all the way off to the east. Our next Arctic system up to the north. This will push down the Great Plains. It may have very little effect here in Colorado Springs. 3 below right now in Colorado Springs, the current temperature. That's not the wind chill. 4 below in Pueblo. The real story when temperatures get this cold is the wind chill. That's what it feels like on exposed skin, and it doesn't take much for frostbite to set in with wind chills. -15 to -25 degrees. Check out how frosty it looks out there on First Bank Fox Skycam. Makes you want to bundle up just looking at it. We do have wind chill advisories in effect for Colorado Springs, El Paso County, from Monument Hill all the way down to Trinidad. Wind chill warnings for Burlington, Kit Carson counties, and also Cheyenne County stretching into Kansas as well. So frigid air continues this morning. Later on this afternoon, temperatures should warm up. We're going to see some light southwesterly winds develop, and that should be enough to scour out the colder air, at least in the higher elevations, believe it or not. Place like Woodland Park, Monument Hill look to be a little bit warmer today than places like Pueblo and Lamar. Pueblo looking at about 28 degrees. It's going to take a while, but we should reach the 20s. And then for tonight, with the southwest winds continuing and a warmer air mass in place, I'm only forecasting lows in the mid-teens. Shouldn't get much colder than that. It'll still be chilly, but definitely not as cold as we're seeing out there right now. Pueblo, about 10 degrees, the overnight low. So once again for this morning, brutally cold out there. That's why there are many delays right now, because it's just going to be dangerously cold over the next couple hours. But then by the time we head out back home, we'll be looking at temperatures in the 20s. Warmer than yesterday, still cold, but a little bit of wind out there and sunshine. Not too bad, especially compared to yesterday. That's how the skies look, how do the roads look. Taking a look at traffic right now, a couple accidents, I-25 and South Academy, and also I-25 and Briargate. Reports of accidents there, although I don't see one on South Academy. Next weather and traffic update will be in about 10 minutes.
Well, it's a sign of the season. Parents taking their kids to sit on Santa's knee so they can get a photo. But for some families, their pets are priority #1, and they get to meet Santa too. Colleen Jones has that story.
They stand about the size of small children. Great Danes Marvin and Daisy are all decked out. They're here to see this guy, Santa. What do these dogs and cats want?
Treats. Toys. Treats and toys.
Rebecca Clark is the photographer. She comes armed with a bag of tricks to get the dog's attention.
I'm all decked out. I come with stuff all over me. I've got things like squeaky toys to make some noises.
If the squeaky toys don't work, she does this.
Any sort of odd sound that they aren't expecting, they're like, what? And then they have the little perked ears and their head tilts, and it's very cute.
Karen DeWolf is an SPCA volunteer. She has to cajole the pets into sitting still.
Maybe he'll sit if I go over.
And that seems to do the trick.
You know, the dogs have such a great time with it, and we all have a blast.
This is Lola. It's not her first time.
We like it because we would have a memory of her with Santa.
Same for Saxon.
This is a big day for him.
Behaving well.
He's been looking forward to this all year.
Yeah, right.
But enough of the dogs. We all know cats rule, and some of them are all decked out.
Of course I've got costumes.
The cats seem to be way easier than the dogs. Judging by the lineup, pet photos with Santa's a hit.
Because they're part of our family now, and so sometimes they take the place of children, actually.
What's easier to photograph, kids or pets?
That's a tough question. It's a tie for sure.
Brutus seemed to be confused about it all. She's like me that way. Ho, ho, ho.
They had a couple ferrets that showed up at Santa Paws of the Humane Society this weekend as well. All right, we'll be right back. But first, here are last night's winning Cash 5 numbers. Good luck.
It is time now for your news by the numbers. The first number this morning is 2. Natalie Rudolph spent her Thanksgiving Day on the sidelines. She's the football coach of Coolidge High School in Washington. Now, in her second season, Randolph has led her team to the Turkey Bowl, Washington's championship game. Coolidge plays at Dunbar for the title, Randolph is believed to be the only female head coach varsity football coach team of the varsity high school team in the country. There we go. She says the attention shouldn't be about her gender, but about football. And the next number is 4. Do you hate airline food? Well, there's an app for that. If you're flying this holiday season, there's a good chance you'll be passing through O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. Now there's an app to help find an alternative to stuff served on the plane, even if your flight has a meal. Before you board, let smartphone users order from 4 participating restaurants at O'Hare. The food and soft drinks are delivered to the gate, and the app premiered in New York at JFK International. And the last number this morning is a whopping 7 million. Michigan State has a secret admirer. MSU is getting $7 million to expand its geology department. The East Lansing School announced the gift. The university knows the donor, but the Michigan State grad prefers to remain anonymous. The money will pay for endowed professorships and endowed graduate fellowships. And I wouldn't mind a little bit of a cut from that $7 million. Hey, birthdays today. We've got some celebrities celebrating birthdays. First one up is Andrew Cuomo. Kimberly, how old do you think Andrew Cuomo is? Older or younger than 50?
I'm going to say older.
Yeah, he's a little bit older. He's 54 today. And also REM guitarist Peter Buck. He's been around for a little bit. Do you think he's older or younger than 60?
Oh my gosh, younger.
He is a little bit younger. You're so good at this. And Tom Hulsey, a Broadway actor. I really had to look for some celebrity birthdays today. Do you think he is older or younger than 60?
I'm going to say older. I'm going for it.
He's actually a little bit younger.
Okay. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah. But Tom, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everybody out there celebrating a birthday today. If you are celebrating your birthday, make sure and email us a picture, any special message, and the age to birthdays@fox21news.com. The big story this morning, weather-wise, is definitely the temperatures. We are seeing some very frigid cold out there right now. Mostly clear skies, although reports earlier of some ice fogging around the area. Temperatures are beginning to warm up, though. We're 3 below in Colorado Springs. It's hard to use warm and negative in the same sentence, but yeah, we're seeing temperatures pretty much below zero area-wide. Factor in the winds, and that really tells the story this morning. It feels like -16 in Pueblo, -26 in Lamar. That means that frostbite doesn't take long to settle in. First Bank Fox Skycam, doesn't it just look frigid out there? And it is. Temperatures will eventually start to warm up, but in the meantime, wind chill advisories remain in effect for the next couple hours from Colorado Springs all the way down through Trinidad and along the eastern plains as well, and I just showed you why. Wind chill warnings in effect for places like Burlington. All right, so that colder air is going to take a while to scour out, so for the eastern plains, temperatures, I'm actually keeping those cooler than the I-25 corridor, or southwest winds will help temperatures warm up a little bit, and the mountains should manage teens, and that's going to be about the best we can do. For the Springs today, I've got a high of about 29 degrees. It's going to take us a while to get there, but by this afternoon, we should see things a little bit more pleasant than what we saw yesterday. Overnight, things not quite as bad, with lows in the mid-teens. 46 degrees for tomorrow. There's a nice little warm-up. Then some more cold air comes our way by Thursday into Friday. For Pueblo, look for a high today of 28 degrees, 10 tonight, and then almost 50 degrees for tomorrow. And I'm more confident that tomorrow we'll see some warmer temperatures finally come through. Canyon City, 31 degrees for today. Overnight lows generally staying in the teens. Almost 50 degrees for tomorrow. There's something to look forward to. And the new weekend, by the way, not looking bad at all for Woodland Park today. We'll see temperatures actually warmer than the Springs in Pueblo at about 30 degrees. And then as we head through the next several days, temperatures really staying in the 30s and 40s. No Arctic air coming our way, at least for the next several days, once we just get past this morning. That's how the skies look out of the roads. Let's take a look at traffic. Earlier reports of an accident around I-25 and South Academy, although it doesn't look too bad right now. And also I-25 and Briargate, reports of an accident there. Next weather and traffic update will be at the top of the hour.
Time now to see what's making headlines on the World Wide Web.
Let's check in with Brittany Gret, see what's up.
Good morning. Well, as Matthew just said, yes, it's going to be cold, but this story is sure to warm your heart. Happened just right here in Colorado, in Denver, actually. 10-year-old David and 3-year-old Olivia are cousins. They met for the first time about a year ago at a family reunion, and unfortunately, the little girl has a syndrome where she can't grow hair. Aww. David, her cousin, has never cut his hair in his entire life, so you can imagine it's really long. He's 10 years old. Wow. And so he decided that the only way he would ever cut his hair is if he could cut his hair to make a wig for her. Aww. So last week, he had 3 ponytails between the length of 13 and 20 inches all cut off. to make a wig for her.
Wow.
That is so sweet.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
That really, and it's his cousin too.
Mm-hmm. Little 3-year-old. She, this syndrome, I guess it's called Clouston syndrome. She's got little hairs that are just out of the top of her head. Her mom said it kind of looks like she's been going through chemo, and she asked her to brush her hair, and she realized she wasn't like her sister, so it's kind of sad. But it has a happy ending that he helped her out, and you know, with his long hair, making a wig for her. So
absolutely, I like that.
And it happened right here in Colorado too. So love that story. And our viral video, though, this guy has no desire to share.
Oh no.
There's Teddy and his corn on the cob.
No, no.
Is that a porcupine? That is
a porcupine, right? Yeah.
He loves corn. Teddy, can you share your corn with me? Can I have it?
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
He's so mad.
My sister does the exact same thing when you try to take food away from her.
Makes the same sound too.
Now, hold on. I didn't know porcupines could be pets.
I don't know if this is a pet or if this is at a zoo or what the deal is, but I didn't know they could make sounds like that.
Get that close usually.
I think the porcupine just said, "I like that." Did you hear that?
I know, it sounds like he's talking. I just love his little voice and look at his big teeth. He's just so cute. This is just a cute viral video.
It really sounds like that porcupine is talking. That's really funny.
He's big too. I didn't know porcupines were that big.
No, I didn't know you could domesticate them.
And I didn't know they liked corn on the cob.
But well, you know, we had the zoo the other day, and they had those little those little corks with, I guess they were fishing flies.
Oh.
What they had with porcupine needles on them, and I poked one, and they are sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful around those things.
Especially when they, you know, are protecting their corn on the cob.
Yeah, don't take their corn either.
What if he likes butter on the corn on the cob?
I don't know. A little salt. Anyway, thanks, Brittany. Well, still to come on your Fox 21 Morning News. Tomorrow marks the 70th anniversary of Pearl Harbor.
And now survivors are working to preserve the story behind the historic event.
Also, maybe it was love at first latte. One longtime talk show staple is heading down the aisle again.
But first, here's today's Pledge of Allegiance from Gold Camp Elementary.